not to live the way he was living. And then I used with my brother, my husband and my sister, and the three of them are here today. We all used together. And then I'm wrong. My son carried the message to my husband, and before you knew it, he was going to meetings still fucked. I had no intentions, and then my brother was bleeding to death. He needed a liver transplant. So my brother, by the grace of God, had to be clean 2 years, and he got clean for 2 years, and by the grace of God, he got a liver transplant. And then my husband, on his last prison sentence, he got took to this, he's a carrot maker, I don't know what that meant, got took to a rehab, and he was going much of effort, because I was always on, and boards are about and boards are about clothes, and it was clothes visits in Preston. You can all imagine why, can't you? If you love me, you do it. Don't forget them brown boots. Make sure you've got the magazines. Do you know what I mean? So when he said it's like going in here for 18 months, prior to that, my brother had sent us the blue book, and it had on it something like, to Paul and Cathy, do this and be free. You were like, what the fuck's he on about? You're wiping foil on it and spilling cider on it and that. St. David's. So Paul went there, he phoned me and said, I'm going to be here for 18 months. And I thought, well, do you know what? You're going to stay alive a little bit longer. And I thought he's going to get in there, get clean, come home, get back into bed and pick up where he left off, because that's what he's always done on prison sentences. And when he did come home, there was something different about him. And I believe that he planted that seed in my sister, because she'd done 9 detoxes. And every time she's done a detox, she brought something home with her. Her words, not mine. I know she's sitting there married with her husband and all that now, because that was many years ago. And then I thought, thank God, wait a minute, my brother's clean, my husband's clean, and my sister's clean. When is it going to be my turn? Haven't I been bad enough? I remember dropping down to my knees and calling out to the God that I didn't believe in anymore. Higher power, my sister phoned me, and I was, and she went, I will take your children like I took Trisha's, and you can do what Trisha's done. And anyway, fast forward, my other sister phoned, and I was like, I've got to do everything. And she said, get off your ass and put the action in. Do you think we got this on the edge with a magic wand? So I did. I went to detox, petrified. I went to Blackburn to my husband's, because he was 2 years clean now. And then I did finally go into treatment. And I'd done what I was told when I come out. And I was told that, I remember phoning my sister, and I was saying, I'm so scared, I am so scared that I'm going to use again, because I went like back home. 2 lived in Bournemouth and 1 lived in Blackburn. And I'd done what you told me to do, go to the meeting and do not leave that meeting until you get a sponsor. And I'd done that. And I went through this work, and I did, although I've been in a 12-step treatment centre, I still didn't understand what powerlessness meant. I believed that I got up early to use and drink before my kids got up. I believe that I chose to use while my baby was in hospital. I really believe I chose it. And by going through this work and it being explained to me, I lost the power of choice years ago. I completely lost the power of choice years ago. When I was delivering my last child, all I could think about was what was in my house coat pocket, because my niece, who's in addiction, come up late. I never even gave her a name. I never even gave that child a name. I never even fed her. She was just baby Jones for 5 days. In the end, his brother gave her a name, and I didn't think it was that bad even then. But for me, it was when the ale come round, because that just I ended up on the front of our local shopping centre with all the other pissheads. Until I thought, no, do you know what, I'll give it a go. Probably won't work for me. I probably won't be able to get clean. And when I got clean, I didn't think I'd stay clean. And, I went through this work. And now I understand the outward unmanageability, I get that, but what was pointed out to me is that internal stuff, like what I think you're all thinking about me. Why didn't he send me a text? How come I never got invited to the fucking shindig they were all at the other week? Why didn't he ask me, did he want to come to Camp House? How come she never gave me a hug at the end of the meeting? All that internal stuff, and I thought, oh God, yeah, I feel like that. And like, I never had a problem with step 2 because I had tangible evidence. I believed in the 12-step programme. I was absolutely fucked. I had never been to a meeting in my life, but my brother, my husband and my sister were doing it. So why wouldn't I believe? I was all right with step 3. Why I'm doing this is to tell you how I got through what I got through. So by finding, like say, I had a God in my life. The God was always there, just that I run the show because of the way I was brought up. My mum put God in us. And step 3, all it's asking me to do, make a decision to do the rest of the work, and it is. And I had to look at all the shit that I'd caused. There was no like, oh, do you want to do the 4? I knew what I'd done. I knew exactly what I'd done. Okay, there was a few things in Black House, but what the 5 gave me was the truth, because I hated my brother because he stole my son. Hated him for 25 years, and I thought he robbed him, but he never. He rescued him, he saved him, and my son is an amazing dad. He's got 4 kids of his own, but I never done that. My brother done that. So by, you know, having a look at the 8 and clearing the wreckage of our past, that I had to go to my brother, and it took me 18 months to relapse because I was petrified to go. And it's like keeping that, you know, that stuff that cringes you out, that stuff that you can't look in the mirror, that's the shit we have to get rid of. And my biggest one was my brother. And when I went on, he ripped me in a arsehole. I mean, he fucking slated me, which it was right for him to do. But now, I can't put into words the relationship that I've got with that man. It's something, it's a feeling that you'd have to go and experience for yourself. It's like having a grandchild when you're clean. I missed out on my kids growing up, but I've had the pleasure and the beauty to like have another go with my grandchildren. There's no feeling like picking your grandchild up. And I've had, you know, hard ones. I mean, Paul went on the neighbour once because we were like, imagine living next door to me, you know. And he made an amends to the light. And she was going, oh, it was wonderful, I made up, you're doing okay. And he was well worse than I was. And it's okay, and they had like this emotional connection, and he had a David Blaine experience. I thought, fuck that, I want some of that. I want some of that. Spoke to the sponsor, you know, go, be Pacific, knocked on the door, she told me to fuck off. I was devastated. Devastated, and I thought, she's fast. But, like it was pointed out to me, just because you changed, don't expect everyone to accept you changed. Do you know what I mean? And I thought, fair enough. But before I made that amends today, Julie will tell you, because we've done detox together and that, and got a lot of service together. And there was a meeting that other members had started in our area, and the flower shop was right facing where she worked. I used to nearly throw myself under a bus before I actually got fucked off the front step. But once like that had happened, I didn't feel that uncomfortableness in my belly anymore when I seen it, because I knew that the wreckage I'd cleared mine. Just because she didn't want it didn't mean to say that I should still sit in the shit, and I didn't. And Paul's brother said to me no twice, but again, that's okay. And financial amends, I've always done them, that's ongoing. And graveside amends, there's lesser amends, prayer amends, and then we, you know, step 10, it was just, I'm not saying I didn't do a step 10 every night, sitting here lying to you. In the very beginning I did, I really did, but it says you do this until it becomes second nature. I don't go round harming anyone today. I'm alright waiting in a queue. I never used to be alright waiting in a fucking queue. Oh, be cutting everyone off in front of me. But now, you know, because it's given me patience and tolerance and acceptance and stuff, and Step 11 is very, very, very important to me because this is where I get my connection with my God. Your God's your God. I'm all right with JC's dad. Do you know what I mean? My mum put JC's dad in me. And whatever you do, if it works for you, crack on. But mine's the God my mum put in me. And it talks about like getting through stuff really, isn't it? And I remember when I'd only been home from treatments, I don't know, maybe a year maybe. Well, not even that. I came home, this is what I come home to, that when I had to have a relapse, went out there, I'd done about 3 days and I got back very, very quickly. So by getting back very quickly, I'm quite a few years now. But when I come home, I found out that my dad was housebound, going blind. My mother's been diagnosed with dementia. My brother's had a massive heart attack. My sister's been diagnosed with cancer. My nephew at 20 years of age has just got a 50 in IPP. My son's gone to prison and his partner has moved someone like me around my 3 grandchildren, and it was fucking quite difficult, but I sailed through that because I was in like 5, 6, 7 meetings a week. I had service at the convention, I had service at the Unity Days. I was constantly connected to God. I was helping other people, and I sailed through that. And knowing all that sorted itself out, like David's okay with the heart attack, Trisha's okay with the cancer, my son's out of prison, I've been to see my nephew, he's got acceptance, like, you know, when I done the crime, I deserve the time. I've got acceptance from my mum and dad and that. And do you know, whenever it was sad and there wasn't a problem, I was living in a homeless unit then. I got my little house in Crosby, it's deep in L23, it's quite a posh area. Quite a posh area. The neighbours think we're normal. When I got that and everything was sorted out, obviously I've took my foot off the gas, we started going backward through the steps. Couldn't be asked helping anyone. You give her your number, wasn't doing prayer and meditation, wasn't doing inventory, still had amends that I needed to do. I was causing more harm in the 8. I was a defect looking for a fucking character. In 5, I was saying, I think I'm substance misusing, and I really meant it. And if these were all going to be stupid, what the hell have you only used for? And then 4, I was causing more harm because I'm sly and sneaky and underhanded. Step 3, how can I turn my will and my life over when I'm not doing prayer and meditation in 11? So we got to step 2, I don't need yous, I don't need NA, I don't need to do this. And step 1, what happened was, them defects that I thought had gone, they backed me into a corner that I couldn't get out of without using. And that's how I ended up using for a few days, but like say the grace of God, and quite a few years back. Now, after about 2 or 3 years, I look after my mum. You know, I'm there from like 9 in the morning till 2 in the night. And, you know, I'm seeing my dad in ways that you shouldn't see your dad. Do you know what I mean? So I looked after my dad. He had through cancer, and knowing all the good meds comes in. But I never thought, shall I have a swig? And it was hard, and they were getting sicker and sicker. Because she was like, she could function physically, but her head didn't work. And my dad couldn't function physically, but his head worked. So at first he sort of muddled along. But in the end, it got to the point where I had to leave my home and move in with my mum and dad. And that was going to be one of the fucking hardest times of my life. It was so hard. It was like having twins. One got up, one went to bed. One had to wake up, one would go to bed. You're bathing the 2 of them, you're showering the 2 of them, you're fucking cleaning wounds on the body. I had a list of appointments like that, but none of them were mine. It was so hard trying to run 2 houses. It really, really was hard. And that's when I have to have this connection, step 11, to God. And in the end, I nursed my dad through cancer, and I've done everything I could because I've made an amends to my dad and I made an amends to my mum. And I stayed, and I was there until my dad died. I stayed in the house with him. I'd like to say he had a peaceful death, but he didn't. It was a fucking horrific death. It was horrible watching my dad die. But here's where the head of dad comes in, the head. So my brothers and that have gone. They took me little dad and left in the house. So there's all these meds, right? So a normal person would put them all together, wouldn't they? I put all the shit ones over there and all the good ones over there. And I'm thinking, he's got two nieces, Bangary, and I'm thinking, oh, Cheryl can have them, oh, Lisa can have them, but they brought them as a family. Some people might know what I mean, you've got to be a bit older. It's Brad here, because Brad knows. And I thought, you know what I might do with this? I think I might just put that in the fridge just in case I can't cope with the funeral and get overwhelmed and all that. And then I thought the programme kicked in and it was like, what if you give them to Cheryl and she dies? What if you give them to Lisa and she dies? Do you know what I mean? So I prayed and I threw them all away. And then I thought it's going to be easier when my dad was gone, but oh my God, it got so much harder because in the end my mum was non-verbal. She was non-verbal and watching, this woman who brought us up, God-fearing woman, brought 7 of us up, worked 2 jobs, sitting there with fucking nappy on feeding a dog. Oh, it's soul destroying. I mean, because I couldn't leave her alone, I weren't getting to meetings and stuff like that, and it wasn't that. NA never carried me because I wouldn't let NA in. In the dark days, I just wanted to kill the 2 of us, just kill her. And I used to think I'll have a better life in prison than living this life because this is fucking horrific. She used to cry for 15 hours a day sometimes, and I was just so hard, but I couldn't put her in a home, I couldn't do it. And I went on holiday and I told my sister what was really going on. And by the time I come back, like the older ones, because I'm 70 youngest, the older ones got together and said, this is happening. She's going in a home, and I still feel guilt over that. She died in the home, but again, me and Ara were there, I was there, and she had a beautiful death, she had such a peaceful death, I got the priest in and stuff, and she did have a peaceful death. And by getting through all the stuff, so my mum's passed away, my dad's passed away, I've been looking after them for about 17 years, so I looked after them in the addiction, and then I got a job, a legit job, legit, not a backhanded. No, honestly, proper job. I haven't had a proper job since I was 19. I had a proper job. And it was only in the Strand. I was on the first hour like that with the grafters, fuck off. Because I fucking knew most of them. And some of them would come in like that and I'd go, John, get us out the bag. And he'd be like, oh, Gail, I didn't know you were on today. I go, oh, fucking Anna, come on, shit, or they'd go, oh, Cathy, I'm fucking rattling them in bits, please, just give a tenner's weight. I said, fuck off, I give you a tenner's weight. Every cunt at the front will be in here. Nah, come tomorrow, I'm not on tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes that'll be hard, he'd want to stab you in the face and be like, fucking hell, you've only got 3 bars of chocolate, but you'll be able to stab me in the face. But I loved it. I loved it. And I remember it must have been 2022, because I was on a share on having faith. I found out that I had breast cancer, so I had breast cancer and I was in the hospital, it was on faith, and I knew I was going to be okay. And then in the November, I had a mastectomy, so I was off work for a bit, and I just kept praying to God, you know what I mean? And when I go to the doctors and I just say, okay, what are you going to do about it? Oh, you've got this, well, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? And when they said a mastectomy, I was like, oh, that's a bit extreme, isn't it? But the days I had a mastectomy, and then I had 15 rounds of radiotherapy, and it was hard, it was painful, it was uncomfortable. I still get pain from it now. So then so I finished that in 2023, January, and my husband took me to Rome in the February. And then I went back to work in the March, I was singing and all dancing. And then in the April, the May, I thought, oh, I don't know, I feel blueses. And anyway, I went to the doctor's, done a blood test in the morning, he phoned me back and said, you've got ovarian cancer. And I was like, fucking hell. And he went, because I want to know, I want to know the truth. And when he called me back, and he was going, do you want to ask me anything? You know, when they look you right in your eye and go, do you want to ask me anything? And I was like, do you think I've got cancer again? He went, yeah. And I went, in your professional opinion, where do you think it is? He went, I think you've got ovarian cancer because the levels in your blood are so high. And I was like, okay, what are you going to do about it? And that was hard, waiting for tests and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But keeping it together. And when I first went, it was like, oh, well, it's only in your reproductive system, so as only babies, no big fears, can lash you. So when I went, when the boob, I was trying to make a joke of it, and he said, you've got to have a mastectomy. I went, well, I don't do the beauty contests anymore, and the kids are all well breastfed, lawn shit, and he was like, looking at me, and looking out. So then I had a few more tests, and then they said, what's your expectation? And I went, well, it's just in my reproductive system, I can't have a hysterectomy, and like, that's that. But it was in the lining of my stomach, it's in my bladder, it's in my liver, and there's 2 up by my heart that I'm not sure about. So I said, okay again, what are you going to do about it? So they said we'd do 3 chemos, hysterectomy and 3 chemos. So we started the chemo, and I was like, I'm going to lose my hair, and they were like, yeah. I went, okay. So I had the first one, and I could feel it getting loose, you know. And my grandkids had gone on holiday, so I had a PICC line in. I mean, consequences, because I've got no veins. So we had to have a PICC line, and you say to my grandkids, I have to have that in because it's medicine to go in my belly to make my belly better. And my grandkids would say, is your belly being better today, Nan? And I'd go, yeah, why? They went, because I've been praying for you. Wow, do you know what I mean? He's only 5. And so I've got the PICC line and stuff like that. And I've said to my husband, when you pick the kids up from the airport, bring them back here, because I didn't want them to see me as Nanny Cathy and then come in and see me with no hair, no eyebrows, do you know what I mean? So my grandkids shaved my hair. I let them shave my hair. It was quite emotional, do you know what I mean? But I thought, well, you're going to take other stuff, you're not going to take my hair. So I let my grandkids do it, and, you know, it's hard. It is hard, and I believe I've got through it by, you know, having a connection with God. And then when it was, I've sort of had my 3 chemos, so as far as I'm concerned, it's all shut down, it's all working, it's all hunky-dory. And that's what she said, because she never had the courage to tell me the truth. And when I went to another hospital about 2 weeks later, I'm all singing and dancing, do you know what I mean, all made up, and then she said, there's too much cancer in your body, we can't save your life. And I was like, what? They went, no, it's too much, because it's so much in your bowels, so much in your liver, and we've still got these 2 by your heart that we need to deal with. And I was like, fucking hell. And she said to me, it's a big operation, you're going to have a colostomy bag on, it's life-changing, go home and think about it. So she gave me a week to go home and think about it, and it was like, do it or do it not do it? Like, my son's coming home, shall I have just one good Christmas? Do you know what I mean? But if I do it, the Christmas is going to be shit. And I was really, shouldn't I? Bear with. And then there was another member who'd not long lost her husband, and she phoned me, and I was telling her, like, what's happened. And I was saying, I don't know whether to do it. I might only get 6 months, I might get 2 years, but I should have just had my last holiday, get the Christmas with my kids. And she said to me, what my husband would give just to have 24 hours back. And I thought, you know what, okay, it's like NA, if you want the programme, you've got to get off your ass, put the action in, haven't you? So it is, and I went and I had it. And on that day of the operation, I didn't know this, the doctor said to me, do you understand what's going on? I was like, yeah. He went, do you understand that we're going to open you up? And if there's too much cancer, just close you up. I thought, no one fucking told me that. And I went, yeah, I know that. So when I come to an intensive care, because you've got all drips on you, and pipes out your neck and all that, and I was trying to feel if I've got a colostomy bag on, but I couldn't move that arm. I was saying to the nurse, hey, Amy, come here. She went, Master, I got a colostomy bag on. Have I got one on? She went, yeah. I went, thank fuck for that. Anyone else would be like, oh, gross, because I knew I was in with a chance. And by the grace of God, I've had my colostomy bag removed as well. I had it for 14 months and then I got that removed. You know, I've been through a lot of stuff. I'll tell you what was another time that was really, really hard. When my daughter had a stillborn little boy, that was fucking soul destroying. You know, when you're seeing this little blue coffin about that big, that was fucking hard. That was really, really hard. And they said the cancer's in my body in places they'll never reach. But the next time I had a full body scan, so what I had, when I had my operation, I had a radical hysterectomy. They took the lining out my stomach. It's called a peritoneum. I didn't know that. It's called a peritoneum. They took my peritoneum, my appendix, a portion of my bowel. The two that were up there, they were on my diaphragm. So they took some of my diaphragm and they had to shave round my liver, 3 times. And just put me back together. And when I had like me back reversed, because I know the doctors now, and I say to him, listen, Paul, he's Mr. Scaife really, listen, Paul, if you're going to open me up like an handbag, have a fucking good look in there. And when he was putting that back, now have a good route round. Well, they open you up like an handbag, they cut you from there to there, and, do you know what I mean? So when he come back, I said, what happened? He went, he has a good look around, can't see no cancer. And on my last scan, considering they were saying it's in places we can't reach, and I believe it's because of, like you guys, because I believe in the power of prayer, I have got no cancer in my body. And, do you know what's like helped me massively in, like when I was going through a dark space with my mum and all that, you know what kept me going? Sponsees kept me going, because like I had someone phoning me at like 2 o'clock, 12 o'clock and 5 o'clock, and I believed that I had to get out of me to be there for them. That was like when my mum was here. And then while I was going through what I was going through, I never stopped working with others. And there was a lady, and I know a lot of people won't know what I mean, but I know other people that will remember her. And her name was Jane, and I remember her getting cancer. And you know what? She carried on going to meetings, she carried on doing her own group, and she carried on helping others. And then she got cancer again, and she carried on doing her own group, she carried on going to meetings, and she carried on helping others. I mean, she's no longer with us now, but I believe that woman left me a legacy. I really, really do. That woman left me a legacy, and she said to me, I believe that, Cathy, when this happens, don't fucking curl up in a ball and get into bed. Get up and carry on doing what you were doing. Now, moving on to step 12, even though, you know, I've got a hair on my head, it's a bit spooky when you've got no eyelashes and eyebrows. Not being horrible, Dave, but you look like a sport. You look like a sport, you do. Right, it's weird, you're like potato with eyes, it's just weird. You wouldn't believe how different you look without eyebrows and eyelashes. And even though like you had no eyebrows and eyelashes and I'm in the bed, I've had the keeling because it doesn't half make you feel ill, it kicks your ass, it really does. You know, being sick, ulcers in your mouth, it's really, really hard. But if I was having a good day and I've said to fucking, let's call her Susie, I don't sponsor anyone called Susie. Let's say I say to Susie, listen, you're reading your step 3 out on Thursday, and then Thursday comes and I'm in the bed like that, fucking hell, if she doesn't ring. But she does, and then once we start talking, I stop thinking about me then. So that's like step 12 for me. Even though I was sick as I was, I carried on working with other women. I got to my home group when I could. I didn't get to loads of meetings because your immune system's so low, and people in here were saying, can I hug you? Because I was like, nah, I can't hug you because my immune system was so low. But I'm very, very grateful to them. I'm very, very grateful to the people that were there for me, and many, many, many was, and I'm grateful for the people that prayed for me, because I absolutely believe in the power of prayer. I really, really do. I know we've all been through shit, haven't we? Do you know what I mean? It is. We all go through shit, and I don't know if they've asked me to talk about it, that because I've been through maybe a little bit more shit than others, and do you know what? I never had to go back to that. I'd rather be shot in the face than go back to where I come from. I really, really would. Thank you so much for sitting and listening. I really do appreciate it. And my clanker's nearly gone off, hasn't it? That's 40 minutes, isn't it?
Carry on if you want.
No, but you know what, the ad time here for me, an hour and a half. I thought, surely you're taking the piss. No one's going to sit in here an hour and a half.
Oh, we weren't telling them.
Not a chance. Well, I'm telling you, and I thought you can't do that for an hour and a half. So I said, oh, do you just do a little bit and then you open it up, and then there's the time to like clean up, paint a few walls and all that. And then I think we sort of agreed, didn't we, that I'll chat a cracker for about 40 minutes and then we'd open it up. So what time is it now? 5:02. What time did I start banging
20
on?
past.
20 past. So that's about it, isn't it? Well, Liverpool have kicked off. He said, shut up. You're getting beat anyway. He's not staying there. Right, go on, how are you? We're going to do that. Yeah. I think, let's see what's left on this.
Bear with her.
4 minutes, I have 4 minutes left. If you haven't already, get a home group, get to loads of meetings, get a sponsor, and get through the steps like your life depends on it, because you know when the shit hits the fan, trust me, you're going to need them. Because when I'm in the bedroom, planning my own funeral, who's carrying my coffin, how are my kids going to be? I'll never see my grandkids again. Do you know what? The only person that was in that room was God. I'm not going to go into my husband's and go, this is what I feel about coffins and all that. Do you know what I mean? So it was difficult, it really, really was. You carrying your coffin, you know, do you know, make it on this. I want them all to be the same size. I don't want a coffin like that. So I thought, my husband and my brothers are not doing it. I want like 6 footers. I've got loads of nephews, and that's all I was thinking. I don't want my coffin like that. So I want like the nephews, and he even said to the undertaker, what have you got to be like? You know, he went, he said 6 foot, 5 foot 10. That's what you need, so you don't fit the criteria. But I want them all to be, do you know what I mean? I don't want a simple cremation. What money I've got, I'm fucking spending on a funeral. Fuck the kids. Right, I'll leave it there. Thanks for letting me bang on.